Welcome to our week 5 class. And this week we are going to focus on some key topics of your human interaction, human computer interaction class. And for this reason, we have got here good slides for you to view. So I'm going to share the slides now and then we will go on from there. All right, guys, as you can see, the slides are right in front of you, and this week's slides are also important, like any other week, I guess. And we're going to look at some of the key topics here, and then you will learn, and I hope you enjoy this class as well. Anyway, let's keep moving here. What have we got? Some few. Okay, this lecture class will focus on different devices and the different fluid navigation methods which are been used into our class. Okay, so without wasting any time, we will just jump into here. So some of the important topics we are going to cover are here keyboards and keypads. Their importance is very critical in terms of how these devices are used to enhance user experience. So we will also be looking at some of the pointing devices which have emerged in the last few years as an important interaction between humans and computers. And there are some displays as well. Different size of displays are there from as big as large monitors to as small as wearable watches. So we will be looking at those as well. Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, now into our introduction, we all understand the importance of these input and output devices and how effectively they represent the physical medium through which users operate computers. So this is important, like as we all aware of the importance of a keyboard, like of the importance of a mouse, or touch pads. So there are so many things which have improved over the last few decades. I will say that in the last 20 years, we can say that. Like the standard computer was a lot different what it is today. Now the modern computers are equipped with latest technology which enhances users experience. That's why users now enjoy more as people who use those devices something like 20 years ago. So it's a big change, guys, coming up. And that's where it's my understanding as well that with time going on, latest devices will emerge and they will further enhance our user experience. Anyway, look at here. The important thing which we need to cover here is that mobile phone technology, which has revolutionized the face of computing. Now, a lot of things can be done on a mobile phone. Like a mobile phone has become kind of a small computer in your pocket. So try to understand that as well, that from a bigger monitor to as a small screen of a mobile phone, which can be as efficiently used as a computer. So, okay, now many people do not realize that their ever-present smartphone, tablets, or portable players are indeed powerful computer, and this is true. A lot of people don't even use them as computers, but they can be used. If you know how to use them, you can. A lot of people don't try, maybe probably they think that's too small to type something, or but with people, once they get immersed, once they get used to it, once they get involved, they can effectively use those small screens into a powerful computing for whatever their needs are. So this is important as well. Many people, as I said to you before, they're not aware of that. It's kind of a but smart students like you, the modern new generation, the kids, they all are using mobile phones from a very early age, and with that early age means things will get better. And this is how exactly what is happening. Anyway, guys, let's keep moving here. We're gonna look at some more things as well. Okay, now this is one of the display of an example. This device is like Indian IT Minister Kapil Sibal announcing the Akash, a $35 tablet for the Indian market. So that's, guys, just it sums up well. A cheap tablet which is being designed for Indian market and is on a display by their minister. So it shows the power of small displays and different type of displays and devices that will enhance user experience. Not only it's just as cheap as $35, you know. So like some of the tablets are as expensive as $1,000, but now in one of the markets where $1,000 is a lot of money, they have developed a basic $35 machine or device that can meet the requirements of that market. So, which is really a good example to show, how this can be done. So I mean, as you are aware, different. It depends on what type of machinery is inside. An expensive could be as over $1,000 to as cheap as probably a couple of $100 in Australian market. Yeah, that's anyway. Keep moving here. We're going to show you some more interesting examples here as well. Another device example, as you can see here, they are showing three examples here. The first one on the far left, the Owlet baby monitor, like it's like a wearable baby monitor that continuously tracks a baby's heart rate and oxygen saturation using a so-called smart sock, which is, as you can see here on the left side, where a baby is wearing a sock that will continuously monitor the baby's heart rate and oxygen saturation. And then not only that, it does that, it also wirelessly sends the information to the base station. We don't know about this baby. This baby might have some heart issues or some health issues. Because of that, the doctors have decided to, uh, you know, put this socks on to the baby to make sure that they are continuously monitoring her or his progress. So, which is really something I will say a major breakthrough, in terms of technology, how it can be efficiently used to monitor baby's health. So, this is something I will say quite interesting. So, in that case, the base station is in contact with the internet and uploads the data that parent can access using the mobile phone. So, in the middle, there's a base station, as you can see, the middle picture, and then finally, that picture on the right hand side is a mobile phone. It might be doctors or parents or whoever they are. So it's kind of a amazing technology which is being used efficiently to enhance human lives. That we can say. I mean, technology is playing a big role. It's not just in many areas of our working, but it also in our into our daily life in terms of health monitoring and other health related issues. So it can make a big difference, and it is making a big difference. So I mean, not only okay now, as I've always been saying from the beginning, that when you look at these images, when you read that information, you should read that information from the perspective of human computer design interface. This is like how a designer can efficiently design these things, that they will work together. So of course the designer is not behind developing the mobile phone, what is behind the mobile phone, but designer is behind what is displayed and how nicely it is displayed or efficiently and easily displayed to the users. And where the technology is coming from is of course different things, but of course to our role as a designer is to make sure that the user interface is as friendly as it possibly can be. Okay, let's keep moving here. We got a lot of slides to cover. Okay, now keyboards and keypads, you all are aware of them. The importance of these keyboards and keypads, as you know that they are very important, without a doubt. And the one example is being shown as an Apple MacBook Air laptop with a QWERTY keyboard on the left. QWERTY is basically used for because the first letter on the keyboard for alphabets, it starts with the Q, second one is W, third one is E, then is R, then is T, then is Y. Just I think this is probably the reason they just call it QWERTY. This is the most common keyboard which is widely used throughout the world, I guess, for typing. This is the, I think, English style keyboard, which is for English language. Okay, now other than that, they're also showing on a Lenovo machine, looks like a kind of a laptop here. The second picture, a multi-touch trackboard and sorry, trackpad that supports pointing. So which is really good. Can you see the red one? the which is just above letter B, and on the right, a detailed photograph of a Lenovo laptop keyboard shows a pointing stick. So that is it is not a new technology. This technology has been around for a long time. It was first used by IBM. I think I will say probably in the last like late 90s. That's where it was used, but somehow it didn't get popularity. But then IBM was purchased, no, sorry, the IBM was purchased by Lenovo. So the Lenovo has brought this technology. Lenovo is a Chinese computer manufacturing company. So they have brought it back, but I don't think so any other company uses it. Some people might find it useful, some people might not have found, but somehow this technology didn't, I will say, kick off to an acceptable level. But anyway, it's just technology. I mean, it's not a big thing, It's just one laptop which is using this pointing device, like we call it pointing stick, But yeah, but there are different ways, technology can be used. Yeah, just to show you something here. Well, anyway, okay, this is it's really interesting to see this kind of things, which designers they try to develop something, and that is in use for long. It has been in use for a long time. As I said, this was one of the technologies that was used in the late 90s. So, okay, let's keep moving here. Okay, now accessible keyboards, guys. You can see here an Orbi Touch keyless keyboard with integrated mouse functionality. This is another one not widely used, but is also there. It has its functions. The Orbi Touch requires no finger or wrist motion to operate, yet supports high performance typing and pointing. So this is also somewhere it can be used. Yeah. Well, anyway, I know it's not in a major use or not widely used, but it's just another masterpiece of design. With the help of designers, someone has designed this piece, which can also be used for typing and pointing purposes. Okay, we will continue to cover some more information. As we know that this is what happens when we're talking about pointing tasks and control. There are several functions like select, which means you are going to choose from a set of items. Position, this is another one. You can choose a point in a 1, 2, 3, or higher dimensional space. That also is common. Orient, you can also choose a direction in different ways, 2, 3, or higher dimensional space. You can also use this gesture function, which can perform an action by executing predefined motion. Plus, we all are aware of the text. You can enter, move, and edit text into dimensional space. So there are different ways in which it can be done, and it's really, really good one as well. So it's just one way of showing you here. Okay, my advice to all of the students is to look at from the designer's perspective, that how these things are designed and they are put into use. So we all use them, but we hardly think about these things, how these things are, like who would have designed them, like how they were used. So my advice will remain to all students, please check everything from the perspective of your own like subject, which is human computer interaction. So that's where our main focus should be, and that's why I always say students to look everything from the designer's perspective, how the user interface design, how efficient, how friendly it is. Okay, let's look at some of the polls here. Uh, some of the polls for students to complete. What are the goals of a good design? I will say probably all of the above. Yeah, which is a simple choice here. Is all of the above is really a good choice here, I will say. Okay, now can we move on to next slide here? Okay, now some of the pointing devices examples they are showing here. And as technology has evolved in the last 20-25 years, same time the number of these pointing devices have also emerged to cater for the needs of millions of users. Basically, we're talking about here different users, they require different pointing devices. So if we just go through briefly with this information here. So these direct control devices, which are easy to learn and use, but they may and may obscure display. Sometimes this is also a possibility as well. Like say for example, touch screen, single and multi-touch. We're talking about stylus, which is passive and active. So, excuse me, some of these technologies can play an important role as well. Okay, now we all know the importance of indirect control devices, which are mouse, trackball, joystick, pointing stick, touchpad, graphics tablet. So there are so many there. So depending on what your needs are and whatever your use is, these things can be used. Mouse, I will say, is the most common one. You might not find trackball as common as, joystick is probably common for those who are using games, who are, I think, if they are playing games, probably, they can use that one. Yeah, I mean, depends what your needs are. It all comes to that thing. Anyway, novel devices and strategies, they have also become for special purposes. I will say that not in wide use, but anyway, and they about like from eye trackers to 3D trackers. We're talking about food control. There's a lot of things there as well. Data gloves. So these are for specific use. Whoever they're using it from, maybe if they are being used in a in a in a medical technology, or if they are playing games, or if they are in some kind of a specific industrial use, so they can also be there as well. So at the end of the day, what is the criteria for which we can see how it can be measured? So the measurement depends on accuracy, plays speed. We're talking about here efficiency. We're talking about learning time, how quickly it is learned. We're talking about cost and reliability factor. And we're also talking about size and weight in terms of, of course, you can't make something too big or too massive to handle. So these factors are important, which ensures that they are successful. For success, these things have to be done, especially we're talking about accuracy. It's a very, very important factor. If something is not accurate, then the questions will be asked, yeah, about that thing, why it is not accurate. Speed plays a big role, as we all know that. Cost factor, of course. You don't want to spend a lot of money on buying some devices. So that depends who you are. If you are an individual, of course you're not going to buy expensive things which are not of your use. So your computer comes with a mouse, or like sometime joystick, trackball can also be found in some of the computers. So you're not going to spend that much of money unless you are doing something specific, like if you're game playing or something. Yeah, well, anyway. Okay, move on to next slide here. uh Okay, now it's also important to look at these characteristics. We're talking about same thing again, physical dimensions, usually the diagonal dimension and depth, that's important as well, as you can see in that picture. Resolution also is important. These days we are talking about higher pixels, to enhance the picture quality, screen quality. We're talking about number of available colors and color correctness. This is also important as well. That color mixing technology plays an important role as well, because you don't want, while you are trying to do something and that actually does not show good colors. So you want all natural colors. You don't want something like a saturation or brightness or something which like just simply too bright, or the view is not the real one. So what you want is natural. Whatever, if a person is being shown, you are seeing the person as being natural. Yeah, so you don't want extra light or dim or dark or something. Well, anyway, so number of available colors and correctness is an important factor. Plus, apart from that, refresh rates. These days, the word refresh rates, have emerged, and it's talking about that how it quickly the screen changes. So especially in terms of videos, how smoothly the videos are displayed, that's important factor as well. So as technology is progressing, we are noticing new factors are emerging, which are making the experience of a user immersive and excellent. This is basically what is happening. Apart from that, cost factor, it also remains an important factor. You don't want to spend too much money. Of course, if you want to buy some latest new technology, it might cost you too much, you know. So that is also, especially for individual users, this is a big factor as well. Yeah. All right, guys, let's keep moving to other slides as well. Another display example, if you guys are aware of, I'm not sure how many students have used the Kindle technology, which was developed by Amazon. It's like, and a Kindle was a display, it looked like a book actually. And when Amazon was selling their books, because Amazon used to be a book selling organization, but now, of course, they do a lot of different things. But in those days, they actually developed a very easy, I think not probably that expensive, only $200 worth of this, just like a reader. It was like a reader, Kindle. If you search on Google, you will find it. Not, it is not used by many people these days. I hardly see people using it. But I think probably 10 years ago, or more than that, probably 15 years ago, this technology came when people actually used to read books, you know. And sometime the you know, if you bought a book from Amazon, Amazon will download that book, so you don't have to buy the hard copy of the book. So it was like a soft copy of a book, maybe some novel or something that was used, you know. So it was also one of the technologies which emerged in the last few years, like I would say probably 10, 12 years ago. But then after the mobile phone technology was developed so rapidly and so efficiently, other technologies have gone, gone to the background, you know, and not seen. So I think it is also one of the, technologies which is not seen, as much. We can see that. Yeah, well, but anyway, but it did provide users a way to read their novels. I think at times, novel reading used to be a good habit. I'm talking about like 20 years ago, you know. So, but still people do read. But now with social media, novel reading has become as like a secondary activity, not like a primary one. But these days, primary activities are your Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know, Snapchat, and there are so many there. YouTube videos, you know. So and times have changed, guys. I can tell you, you know. All right. Okay, we continue. Okay, another display, guys. This is a massive one. You can see here. So these displays can be seen on some conference halls and can be seen at some scientific research centers or somewhere, movie, inside some movie theaters or somewhere. Anyway, so these large screens also played an important role. Once again, look at from the perspective of design factor, we are looking at here this from on the Stony Brook University reality deck, it's an immersive gigapixel display consisting of 416 thin bezel LCD displays and powered by 18 graphics workstation connected using a high-speed network. So imagine to provide the power to this massive display, we are using a lot of energy, a lot of power here, you can see here. But then somebody thought this is what we want to show people. Maybe this looks like a world map or something. I don't know what they are trying to show here, but something is happening here, guys, so we all have to look at from every angle, every direction, so that is also one of the, one of the displays, I mean, this can be a big, like a mega size display. But then we will discuss display later on in this chapter. But then we can see that how where the display can be as small as your you are wearing a watch these days. Apple watches and Samsung watches, they have become very popular as well among young users, not among old users. But those small displays we are looking at here, mega size displays. So all sizes of displays are available. You and I are used to the display, like monitor display of 16-inch, 17-inch, 14-inch, 15-inch, or maybe largely 25-inch. That's it. But this is just another example of showing you a massive size of display, which you can see here. Okay. Now, guys, we're going to look at here another display. As you can see here, two users are collaboratively control a lens on a gigapixel image of Paris, France, using a tablet touchscreen as well as an interactive cursor. You can see here they are also trying to do this is like an interactive as well, you know. So different size of displays are being developed to cater for the needs of what people are doing. As I said, from scientific community to research centers to universities to you can talk about NASA or whatever, like military organizations, even police and medical science. So there are dozens of departments where these technologies are being used, widely. Yeah. Okay, apart from that, guys, we are looking at another display. Two people are collaborating on a real estate task using a tabletop display and a mobile table. So, see, look, I mean, now there's no shortage of different types of displays in the world with people using whatever technology they want to use. These displays are available there for different purposes. So, this is basically, I will say, the purpose of these displays here. Another display, guys, this is what I was talking about, is small size displays these days. Watches are becoming very popular among young users. So this is an Apple Watch on the left supports both fitness as well as personal information management applications such as email, calendar, electronic payment. A lot of things can be done. I mean, imagine, with the watch you can do and perform so many things, which is quite amazing actually. Yeah, I'm surprised. So I mean, they all are internet connected, fast, and performing operations rapidly. That's what you need. So different users, whatever their needs are, different designers are developing products which cater for their needs. This is happening. It's really, really, the world is moving fast. We all need to move fast with the world as well. So why not try these things? I know many of you students are wearing these watches. I've seen in my lecture classes, in my tutorial classes. So these things are very common. Other thing, guys, we're gonna look at here. Okay, now they're gonna show you something which is common, like LCD monitor. You and I use all the time, every day in our tutorial classes. These things can be seen. Tablets, of course, we don't have tablets. I guess you might have tablets in your home. Yeah, and phones, everybody carries one in their pocket. So these things are so easily can be seen. They are everywhere, guys. I will say that. So something from every size. These are the three sizes which are very common these days. uh, you know okay, now something which they are showing here is the deformable and shape changing display examples. So these guys, if you cover one of them one by one, I'm going to show you here. The first one on the left is an image, shows a physical bar chart which is visually displaying complex data. You might have seen in Excel, application, this kind of things. The middle one shows that tilt display, which consists of multiple small displays mounted on an actuator. Yeah, so these things are common as well. So different screens are combined together to display one big display. This is what is used. Third one on the far right side, I mean, I don't think so how far that technology went, but it is a paper phone. Can you believe this? A flexible smartphone prototype that supports bending interaction. We are not sure how far that technology went. We haven't seen this technology actively in the market, but somehow somebody developed, but may have not worked, they may not have developed for commercial reasons. So it is something we need to see that as well. Okay, let's guys keep moving here. We are talking about here some more information. There's a, a poll for students to complete. The human computer interaction is a core subject of, I will say, psychology, definitely. Software engineering, yes, it is. Anthropology, yeah, definitely it is. Yeah, no doubt about that. Okay, now look at something important is navigation. This is one of the important tasks if you are using computers, if you are on a website. So here the important thing is that how it enables users to know where they are and where they want to go. This is important as well. It's about getting work done and having fun through a series of actions, much like sailors who steer through their boat to a harbor. So it's very important. You all know the importance of navigation. The navigation plays a key role into our usage of a website. Very important, so basically, to successfully operate and and interact with applications, you need to install either mobile applications, completing an online survey, or purchasing a train ticket, task navigation. We're talking about finding information on a website or browsing social media, which is very common these days, and many people find it very effective as well. Finding the action needed in a desktop application, command menu, navigation, a lot of things, guys, here. See, when we talk about navigation, it is an important factor which enhances user experience and makes the experience as easy as it possibly can be. So that's something we all know that. So it's just an example, to give you something. Okay, now important thing is to note here that even if a designer uses slick graphical menus, which are usually found on a computer screen, if you're using a Windows, or if you're using Microsoft Word, or if you're using Facebook or whatever, I mean, they all may look easy to use, but there's no guarantee that the interface will be appealing and easy to use. So this is important as well. So then your role comes here. Your role is to ensure that the experience, the interface is as effective as it possibly can be. That is very, very important factor, guys. Think about it. You will be asked to develop, I mean, like a website in week number 10. That's where we will be expecting you to do that. Okay, now effective interfaces emerge only after careful consideration and testing for numerous design issues such as task-related organizations, phrasing of items, sequencing of items, graphic layout, design layout, responsive design to adopt various sizes of devices, shortcuts for knowledgeable frequent users, online help, and online error correction. We're talking about, we also covered in very first class. There was a week one, Ben Schneiderman's 8 golden rules of interface design, how important role they have in the design interface. So we are talking about that as well. So here's same thing we are talking about, that many factors are taken into consideration to ensure that the users who are using a website, they have a good and immersive experience. So guys, this is important as well. Navigation by selection, in week 5, as you know, this is week 5, your individual assignment is due, and I have asked everyone to use Ben Schneiderman's golden rules. I mean, at least 5 out of 8. So this is one of the requirements of your assignment 2 as well. Navigation by selection, we're talking about here different things, as you can see here, different menu bars, pop-up menus, toolbars, palettes, and ribbons, shortcuts. They are all are there, and we all need them. Rapid interaction from them. Without rapid interaction, if it is, I mean, these things will become less important. That's something we have to see here. Linear versus simultaneous presentation. So if you look at here, three different displays here. We're talking about here simple menus here. Like maybe I think it's coming from Amazon. Maybe if while you are purchasing something from them, they ask you, do you need a gift wrap? Maybe for extra $5, they can wrap it up. There's extra, I mean, trick of marketing, that you can see here. And then you can see here a mobile phone in the middle with, like, I mean, they're using a dark background. Then you can see some more information on the right hand side. So these are simple menus, which are used in different displays and their settings. So we're gonna cover more information here, as you can see here. We're looking at here radio buttons and checkboxes. I'm sure you might have seen all of them. You might have filled up information, some online surveys or something where they ask you different questions. You can see here, you can tick 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 here, and maybe in this case, what treatment, maybe somebody is trying to book an appointment or something. What treatment would you like to discuss with a nurse or something, physical therapy, medication, whatever it is. So I mean, I'm sure you all are well aware of these boxes here. So these are good examples of user interface design, where a designer spends time and puts effort to design it as simple as it possibly can be. Okay, I mean, I'm sure you would have seen that as well. Navigation by selection, menu bars, pop-up by menus, toolbars, palettes, ribbons, they're all part of a website. Or maybe if you are using any application here, they all can be found there, whether it's Microsoft Word or Microsoft whatever it is, So it's really kind of, this is the Microsoft PowerPoint example, as you can see here. We all have used Microsoft PowerPoint. We all know these things. And designers spend time on ensuring that the experience of users is simple, easy, and user friendly. Okay, some more information, guys. You can see here menu bars, pop-up menus. See here they're showing here the main menu of a SoundHound has only 6 items, but it still has too much to be delayed on every page. Displayed on every page. A main menu hamburger icon appears at the top right of all appropriate pages. For example, it appears in A, C, but not in recording screen D. You can see here. So different things are, guys, being shown here. So depends how you design. So sometimes, of course, there is space limitation. There are other issues, but at the end of the day, designers, they do their best to ensure a good immersive user experience. Okay, now we are looking at, I mean, I know we all know that few things, common gestures and their effect. Tap means you can select, long press, double tap, small swipe, large swipe, rapid swipe, pinch and spread, which is usually used for zoom in, zoom out on screens these days, variation with 2 or more fingers. So different effects are being used by different people, and different screens have been developed to cater for that need as well, So, okay, now I will just say, we try to, okay, just skip that one. We want to quickly finish now. We've got navigation by selection here, menu bars, pop-up menus, toolbars, palettes, and ribbons. Again, this is a NASA page, which is a website. On the left side consists of a large scrollable two-dimensional menu. You can see here, so they're just example from that menu as well, so which is good to see that. Okay, now menus for long lists, maybe sliders and alpha sliders, they are common. When you can see the examples are here as well, Alfonso Soriano, something, maybe it's like a name of a player, maybe you want to check some information about that. Many screens are offering this, sliders, many maybe can be found on mobile phone screens, you know many designers are working on that as well. As I have said to you, new and innovative styles are being emerged with the every passing day, and that is important. As you can see, these things, add extra value. So might be in the next 10 years we will be having something different, you know, and additional features. So next generation will have definitely more advanced features than we have in this generation. Okay, I did talk about these small displays in the beginning and their importance. Now, this is the example of good small displays, guys, right in front of your eyes. Now they are being found everywhere, especially these wearable items. They can be, worn on your wrist, and they can be as effective, in some cases very effective, in terms of, like your computing needs. Basically, this is what is happening, you know. So the new watches which are coming with your iPhone and Samsung phones, they all are equipped with these smart watches. So they are actually are calling them smart watches. This is the name they have given them. So it is different than normal watches which I and you used to wear. But now a lot of young people, they are wearing these watches, and they are using them for, like, I mean, for a lot of things, So it's quite interesting as well. Okay, small displays, some more information here. Design considerations for small displays, which from the designer's point of view, the simplify, which means less is more, strive to reduce or eliminate data entry. Of course, it's very hard to, enter data into these small displays. So this should be an effort to reduce that. Learnability is key. Consider use frequency and importance. You can plan for interruptions, use of contextual information, make clear what is selected and what is not. This is important as well. Leave room for a scroll and swipe gestures to avoid in inadvertent actions. So because they are small, so this thing has to be simple. simple and easy to use. This is the basically, and the whole operation needs to be simplified so that there is no complexity here, because if there is a complexity here, then you will get confused and you probably will think, oh, I'm not going to use it. It's just got, it gets so complex to use. So basically, I'm not interested in that one, you know. Anyway, okay, fine. We're gonna find some more information here. Okay, content organization, guys, this is another topic here. We're talking about here how the content will be organized on your display. The different menus should have meaningful structure, which should result in faster selection of time and good higher user satisfaction. You know, different approaches have been used, like a linear approach, hierarchical approach, network structure, which we have talked about in our assignment number 2, you know, which and you know, sometimes which organization uses which structure. You know, most of the organizations use hierarchical structure. They found it easy to, you know, display information, easy to search information. So different approaches have been used in, in that regard as well. Yeah. So apart from that, guys, as you can see here, this is one of the hierarchical display of REI website. As you can see here, this is kind of a child, like a parent and child relationship. You know, it's like a tree like model, which information is shown from category to category. You know, so you open one link, it shows you another link, then another link, then another link. You know, so that's a kind of like a child, like a parent-child relationship. It's really good as well, you know. So it's good to see that, you know. Well, I'm not sure which type of organization you're going to choose for your assignment number 5, but it can be interesting to see, you know, how information is organized onto websites. Yeah. So in that case, we are talking about layout is important, guys. This is definitely the most important thing, that how the layout of a website, say for example, will be shown for users to understand. With different techniques are used, you know, to indicate position in the menu structure, which can be very useful, you know. So oh, excuse me. So if you are talking about browse by topic, some examples here, guys, you know, I'm not going to audio menus, guys. This can be important as well for interactive voice responsive systems. You know, instructions, prompts, and lists of options are spoken to users who respond by using the keys of a keyboard, phone, or by speaking. You know, so it's one way of doing it as well, you know. So we will cover that later on in chapter 9, but just some information here. Okay, form fill-ins, guys. I'm sure you guys may have filled up hundreds of forms in your life, you know, to open an account. And this process needs to be very, very simple, very, very easy to use. You know, it can't be complex. If it is complex, no one will sign up. So you make sure the process is very simple with fewer information. You can't have too much information here. It can't be like a 5 minutes form filling up. It has to be finished within 1 minute, done and dusted, and you open an account. Or, you know, it's this kind of a create an IEEE account, which is one of the engineering search engine. So well, this is kind of information here. You can see here how short it is, and it contains only few boxes to fill up information. As brief as possible is the message here. Okay, now data entry. Of course, you guys have done data entry with different forms, you know. So, I mean, the same message I'm trying to say is written here. It must be a full complement of information is visible to user. Display resemble familiar paper forms, you know. So it should not be complex information. That's the thing, you know. It's as easy as it possibly can be, you know. And users must be familiar with keyboards, you know, to you know fill up that information, you know. And there must be a easy error correction methods. Of course, if someone fills up wrong information, then there should be a way where that information can be swiftly corrected, you know, without any hassle. That's important as well.
Okay, dialog boxes. I'm sure you guys would have seen this kind of dialog boxes hundred of times, just to confirm that if you are trying to do an operation, whether are you sure you want to move this file to the recycle bin. So this is good, kind of guys. By mistake, accidentally, if you do something wrong, then it shows you a message like a kind of a warning message. Are you sure you want to do that? So in case if you have done something by mistake, then you will probably click here no. If you haven't, you will, I guess, will hit yes. Well, guys, that's some of the information here. Yes, no option is good. I like that, and I think everybody does. You don't have too many options. Yes, no option is easy. Two choices are, of course, easier than three or four or five choices. Yeah. Okay, dialog boxes, guys. This is kind of when they are devised, like when somebody formulates them in such a way that their design is important. You use signal word, nature of hazard, actions, user feedback. Kind of this is also important as well. I mean, and once again, this is the job of a designer to design this dialog box which contains a message. I mean, there's some information about here. It's kind of a warning message anyway. So here the information is, I think, for doctors or for somebody who is prescribing a medicine to a patient, that and that might be, it's about warfarin, aspirin, something. There's a medical, some drug, which is, I mean, this drug is actually, it's like a some kind of a tablets. So this is not this is not the drug which which you and I might think about in the other sense. So it is not. But I mean, in some countries they use the word drug for different views. In our country we use drug for different purpose, but they use different, because this is an American textbook. So, well, we are looking at that one. Anyway, okay. Now, guys, almost be there. I mean, okay, an icon of a file folder which users can drop files in order to move them from the folder is an example of which of the following. Basically, the recognition rather than recall principle, direct manipulation, metaphor, all of the above, I would say, is a good example of direct manipulation. So that's something. Okay, guys, I mean, almost we have finished here. Dialog boxes, guys, combination of menu and forms filling techniques. Some of them is here. Meaningful title is important, guys. Consistent style, that is also necessary. Top left to top, to bottom right sequencing, that is also very crucial. Clustering, consistent layout, consistent terminology, fonts, capitalization. This is important, guys. Maintaining a consistency, standard buttons, okay, cancel everything, in error prevention by direct manipulation. So that is also very, very important as well. So consistency is the name of the game, I will say that. So please, for your assignment number 2, use Dr. Ben Schneiderman's 8 golden rules, as many as you can, at least 5, to to frame your answer. Yeah, please use in-text referencing as well. Okay, guys, almost finished here. This is the last slide here. Data entry with dialog boxes. We're talking about the external relationship is also important, where the smooth appearance and disappearance is necessary. Distinguishable by small boundary, small size enough to reduce overlap problems. Definitely display close to appropriate items. So it's all like, there should be no overlapping, So it's all kind of a effort, that what you are doing is actually working, and everything is visible to you clearly. I mean, it's easy to make disappear, it is easy to clear, how to complete cancel, like all, the whole thing, the whole experience should be simplified, should be user friendly, should be just like as easy as it possibly can be. Well, guys, this is it. So this sums up our lecture 5 slides here, and we will discuss more into our tutorial classes. If you require to discuss any topic here, I will be more than happy to answer your questions. Yeah, I hope you have a good day, and this is like completion of your lecture 5 slides here, and I will be with you lecture 6 slides next week. Thank you very much.